My name is Dr. Krystal Lee, and I am on today to just share some information about your story to encourage you definitely with just my story and things I've learned by being in business. I trust this will bless you. And yeah, so as we go through this series of conversations, I trust it'll be well. I'm just logging in this other device. So as I log this one on, we'll all be coordinated here shortly. Hi, everyone. Welcome, welcome. I'm Dr. Krystal Lee. As I was just saying, I'm excited to be here. I'm excited to share and help those of you who are looking to tell and share your stories. I want to reiterate how important it is for us to be able to tell our stories and to connect with those we love and care about. And so I want to encourage you today, if you have been considering, what can you do, should you do to share your story with the world, I want to let you know what you can and what I've done as far as sharing my story with the world, because I think it is important. And I want to definitely help today. So let me see one, two. Oh, okay. Let's see, we'll just do, I guess this one. Okay. Uh, let's see, hold on a second, too many. One, maybe, okay. Okay, cool. Okay, I was just updating that. So, yes, yes. So, I'm excited to be here. I want to go through kind of my journey as a writer, my journey as a publisher, ghostwriter, and editor. If you are interested in working with me and learning more, I want you to tune in. I want you to stay locked in because there's a lot I'm going to share. One thing I'm going to share is the fact that your story is enough. I know sometimes we question on if what we got to talk about or what our book might be about, if it's enough for it to fill a book or to tell a story, and how eloquent and wonderful can that story really be? And then realistically, how much can it sell? Can I really make money? All of these are legitimate questions, and I want to go through them during this live. Okay. If you are honestly learning, having a good time, and just feeling more prepared than you were before, I want you to definitely put up comments. I want you to share. I want you to like the video and follow me. That way, in the future, when I put out more videos, you'll be the first to know that I'm going live, which I do pretty often, at least weekly. I try to do because I know it's important. So I will hang out with you guys for a bit and just answer your questions too. So if you have questions, put them in the comments and I will answer. If I'm not able to see them during the live, I will do my best to circle back and catch up with you. So you can always send me a direct message if you have a question or if you want to know more about me and my services at KLE Business, where we help people to write, share, and tell their stories professionally and easily. So if you are looking to write and author your story, I am definitely a person that can help. Personally, I've authored and published over 65 books of my own that are all available wherever books are sold, but definitely right here on my shop or a few of them inside of this account, which is KLE Business. If you want to find me as a author, you want to go to author KLEE. Okay, so that's author K Lee, and you'll find all of my books, all 65 plus bundled books and all that good stuff as well. Okay, so all right. So if you're here, then likely you want to write and tell your story. So I want you to put in the comments what kind of book you're working on, writing on. If you finish writing, if you're at the formatting stage, publishing, or distribution, if you have questions, I'm going to go over a lot of these elements. Again, if you haven't followed me already or followed my page right here, I want you to do that now so you can keep in touch. Definitely, if you need my services, that's what I come on here for. So you can meet me, get to know me, ask me your questions, and honestly know what to expect if you're going to approach a self-publisher or even a traditional publisher. With Kaylee Services, we combine those two great, honestly, institutions into one, and we help you to save the most, make the most, and have the most control. Because that's the benefits of having a self-publisher, right? Is you get to have all the control, but you also have all the responsibility. When you have traditional publishers, you don't have as much responsibility because they're doing a lot for you, but you are going to pay the most and owe the most. Okay. So it depends on what model works best for you. If you have a fan base, then you may not mind, working with a working with a traditional publisher, because you're going to be able to make the money, right? And then pay off the investment, which is very nicely painted up as a loan. When you get an advance on books, it really is a loan. Okay. So I want you to think of it like that. Thank you so much. I want you to see it for what it really is. So when you get these checks, you spend them wisely. Okay. I know sometimes when people say, "Oh, I'll give you this or I'll give you that for your book," we get really excited and we're like, "Oh my goodness, I'm great. I made it." I want to let you know you haven't made it until you actually make back the money. Okay. Because they are going to want their money back. All right. Another thing I want to share with you about being self published is you do have the most control. You do make the most money. You're not paying a publisher for printing your book, selling your book, distributing your book, but that means you have to do it yourself. Okay. That means you got to be the person in the driver's seat, essentially pushing the book, selling the book, being your publicist, being your marketing, your brand, your promotions team. You have to be able to do all of that. And for a lot of us, all of that might not be what we want to do. So this is why we get publishing companies to come alongside us to help us that can still give us the freedom we want, because we want the freedom, right? You want to make the money, you want most of the control, you want to control what your book says, then yes, self-publishing is the best way. But having good distribution is even a better way. Some self-publishers put you on one store. We all know what that store is, but how many of you know there are 44,000 outlets, more than that, all around the world? You can sell your book, right here on TikTok Shop, which I recommend because it allows you to connect with your audience. It allows you to be able to sign your books and mail them to real people, have real conversations and real connections. So you're really building your brand and your business in a very smart way when it comes to business. Okay. So thank you so much. So I definitely want to encourage you on that. All right. I thank y'all for sharing the hearts. Our first goal is 2,500 hearts. So we just got started and we are getting there. We're almost at 100 hearts already. So thank y'all for your hearts. As y'all continue to tap, I'll definitely continue to share and make sure what I'm sharing is on topic and all that good jazz. If you have questions, drop them in the chat, of course. And yeah, so I'm here to let you know that. Okay, so this is kind of setting the groundwork. All right, so I'm going to step you guys into something that I believe is going to help you to write and tell your stories. Okay, so for many of you that are on here, you want to write and tell your stories. So I want to share a resource with you. Okay, that's the first thing I want to do. And I want to share with you the resource that has it all. Now, can we step this back? Yes. But I want to make sure if you're on here and you've been saying, I'm going to write my book, if you're in the process of writing your book, but you just haven't gotten it all the way clicking, okay? As a publisher, ghostwriter, and editor, what I do is I do paid consultation with clients. And you might say, Krystal, and this is going to help you if you have a business and you want to use this book for your business. What happens is a lot of us think, oh, I don't want to charge for people. Thank you, Luna. Oh, I don't want to charge people to get to know me or to have a conversation. This is why you do lives. So you do lives, you go live so you can introduce yourself. You can have these conversations with people that want to get to know you or understand a business. And these conversations, as you can see, are what? Free. Okay. But when you say, okay, Krystal, I'm ready to move forward, I'm ready to get things going. How many of you know if you want to do something, if you want to build a business, it's going to cost you something? Okay. And I think a good initial investment into a business or into your learning and understanding is going to cost you probably somewhere around $150. Why? Because you're going to pay for resources, you're going to pay for intellectual property, you're going to get educated. Going to college costs tens of thousands. For some people's schools, hundreds of thousands. Okay. So I want you to see this in context, because for some of us, we're like, no, I don't feel like it has to be that or be all of that or cost that. I'm going to let you know why it does. Because people who do this for a living, they have to have a way to find their ideal clients, meaning to vet people so that they're not having all of these calls that kind of lead to nowhere, on the grand scheme. All right. All of us are wanting to put out our books to make what? Sales. All of us are going into customer service related jobs because we want to build connections. Okay. So if this is something that you know you need to do, then you're going to have to put some kind of investment on the table. There's just no way around it. Okay. And then a lot of people that are giving free advice, the advice is so limited, so scattered, that it's hard for you to follow what they're talking about because it's in what fragments. Why? Because they want you to get to know them, order their services, coaching, etc. So those people have a business model that apparently may work for them. But for me, mine is going to be on on showing you what you want to do. And if working with me works out, that's great. But my biggest thing is for you to leave my lives informed, for you to leave my lives ready or committed or invested. And if that's what you are wanting to do with your story, you are in the right life. Okay. Next thing I want to share with you, being transparent. When people call me from Google and some of these other stores, they're calling me because they've looked at my company, they've seen my results, they've studied my business, and they want to work with me. In those cases, my consultations are $156, and people do pay them. And guess what I give them? I give them this book for free. You might say, Krystal, why would you do that? Because I want people to know, A, who I am. I want them to know what to expect from my services as a publisher, as an editor, as a ghostwriter. Okay. I want them to know I'm a real person. I live, where I say I live. I communicate the way that I do, and I operate where you can honestly know what I'm doing. All right. So this book is for anyone who is looking to write and tell their stories, but maybe, working with a company. Maybe you want to do it yourself and you don't want to hire a publisher or a self publisher or work with a traditional publisher. This is the guide I still will tell you to buy. Now, here's the thing. When you order it here from my shop, I'm going to give you a $156 consultation for free. Okay. So let me explain what the value of that is. Because you might say, well, Krystal, okay. So what? Good. That's the way I want you to feel. In my consultations, I'm going to not only explain to you this business, I'm going to walk you through what you need to do. I'm going to look at your material, your book, or where you're at in your story writing process. If you've already written your story, I'm going to show you the steps to getting your book published and distributed in a way to where you're all around the world, everywhere you want to be. And I'm going to make sure you don't fall into the pitfalls that will come to trip you up later. Okay. So when we're writing our stories, sometimes we want to just vent. And when we're venting, we don't care who gets hurt or how it comes out. And I want to let you know that could be dangerous financially because you could get sued. Okay. So I want to steer you around that, steer you around from getting sued. Okay. Also, we may write a book that doesn't meet what we're trying to accomplish. Let's say you have a consulting business or you have maybe you're an author and you're like, okay, Krystal, this book is the book that I want to set up my company or to set up my public speaking. My goal would be, what are your talks? Who are you going to talk to? Where are you wanting to go? How are you wanting to do these things? Because these things are what's going to set you up. KG's mom, how you doing, love? Okay. These are going to be the things that you need in your book, or you can write a wonderful book that nobody buys because they don't understand how it's going to help them. Thank you, KG's mom. There's only a couple of these in the shop, by the way, because I know these books work. All right. I want to give you some details about the book. First, the book is a hardback book, and I made it hardback because I know the value is in here, but I also want the book to preserve. How many of y'all know some people's paperback books are printed so inexpensively that they tear up in a couple of months? They bend and don't come back. They have no bounce back. So if you're tired of cheap books, this is not it. Okay. If you're tired of books that talk around the points, but don't tell you what to do, this is not that book. Okay. This is not a book of my stories to get you excited and then dump you and tell you buy services from me. That's not what the book is. This book is about anyone who wants to do it themselves, who wants to hire a publisher, an editor, a ghostwriter, to know what to expect, to know what to do. And if all those things are you can start here. And honestly, you can end your paying out other people's journey right here. Okay. Because it's in here. All right. So I'm going to tell you the table of contents. I want to let you know this book is in color. Okay. So it's a hardback book. It's printed in color. And honestly, the content matches what you need. I've done this 65 times for myself. Okay. But I've done this for hundreds of other authors. I've shown them how to do it, or I've just published their books for them. Okay. The best part is when you start here in this consultation, I'm going to show you what to do next. If you want to work with me, great. If you want to do it with someone else, wonderful. If you want to do it yourself, even better, because you're going to save the most money. Okay. But what I don't want you to do is give up on your stories because you get frustrated, because you get overwhelmed, because I want to show you how to write, edit, and publish and distribute your books easily. Okay. Because it can be done easily. Now, with technology and everything around us, it can be made easy. But when you don't know the steps, I mean, yes, you can go research this and go figure it out, shoot in the dark and all that good stuff. But if you don't want to waste time, because your time is valuable. If you only got an hour a day to work on your book because you got family, you got children, you got another job, you got a business you're starting already, then this is the book. Okay. It's easy to read. It doesn't take forever. My clients read my book, even though they're working with me. Why? Because they're like, man, Krystal, after reading this, they can come back to me and ask me more questions. They can come back and sometimes better direct me on what they need from me. Sometimes we go to really good people, but when we don't know what we need from them, want from them, we can honestly waste our money and our time, not because they're not good, but because we didn't come with a clear mind. So here's what's in the book. If you guys like what you're hearing, I want you to lift up those hearts. I want you to definitely put it in the comments. Designer, thank you so much for looking at the book. There are 3 people that are looking at it, and I appreciate it. There are only 5 in the cart in my shop. Okay. So if you really want to get the book, I want to invite you, add it to your cart for sure. And then also check out during the live. When you check out during the live, I'll pull the book from the inventory, which is the best thing. So I know you're going to get your book. And then 2, for those of you who are buying this book on my shop, I am going to give you a consultation with me for free, and I'm going to show you how to use it. Okay. So basically what I'm saying, for under $100, you're going to get the guide that I know you're going to want and you're going to need. You can use it over and over again, no matter your genre, no matter where you're at in the process. If you've already wrote the book, if you're writing the book, if you're planning the book, if it's in the future, I would still recommend getting this book because this is going to help you put the groundwork. This is going to make it easy. This is going to make you accountable. If you've been struggling to write it or stay on task, this is going to help. Felicia, thanks for being a rising star. I do see you. Redefine, how you doing? Thank you so much for being on the live and being a rising star. Elliot, how you doing? Long time watcher. Jodis, how you doing? Thank you so much. And Bonita, thank you so much for sharing the live. I do see you and I want to make sure I acknowledge you. I want to let y'all know we're nearly at 700 hearts. Our goal is 2,500 hearts. So if you like what you're hearing, be sure to lift up the hearts. And if you haven't followed me yet, do me a favor, loves. Follow me. I would love to stay connected with you and for you to be able to find me when you're ready. Okay. Sometimes we see things and we're like, man, I want to do that. It's all right. If today isn't the day, that's okay. The whole point is save where you're at, add it to your cart so you know where to find it when you're ready. Okay. So here's the book. I'm going to read some of this book as well. I'm going to show you some other things as well. If you want to take a look at the items in my shop, feel free to do that. I'm going to explain to you why they're there because I think that's important too. So yes, here are the chapter headers that are in this book. Okay. What's your why? Remember I said before you start writing or as you're writing, if you already wrote, I want you to revisit why you got into this. Why are you wanting to write your story? Why is now imminent? Why is it imminent for people to buy the book and not wait 6 months? Okay. Because you got to know these things. It helps to sell the book. It helps to educate people on why your book was written. It helps you to fulfill your what? Purpose. I'm going to talk about purpose more in a little bit. Okay, what's your purpose anyway is the second chapter because you want to know why you are writing so you can give a call to action, whether it's entertainment, if it's children, if it's adult books, self-help, spiritual, devotionals, journals. I've done them all. As a publisher, as a writer, I've done all of them I just said too. Okay, D. Scott, thank you so much, hon. I see you as well, being a rising star and longtime watcher. Thank you so much. Okay, let's make a plan. If you have not done your book outline, you might say, Krystal, everybody knows we all went to school. We've been to college, most of us, some of us. We've been to high school or any school, any grade level. And we know that writing a book outline is the first step. But how many of you know coming up with that outline ain't as easy as it sounds? All right. Thinking through our ideas and organizing them. It's not as easy as it sounds. This is what I do in consultations. I help people to organize their thoughts, see where they are, and see where they wanting to go. Okay. And then we build a bridge. We build a budget if that's necessary. My goal is to what? Make it easy and then also make it affordable. Okay. So under $100 is very affordable, but I'm going to show you a way that you can start if it's $25, that's more ideal. Okay. And it's going to be this yellow folder. If you are in the shop, if you do want a lesser expensive option to honestly just figure this thing out, I'm going to show you the outline bundle. It's number 3 in the shop. Okay. So I'm going to just pin it real quick so you can see it. All right. This is the option I would recommend adding to your cart and checking out with if the book is too expensive or more than you want to invest right now. You might say, "Oh, Krystal, I can afford it, but I don't know if I want to spend $100. I don't know if I like you enough. I don't know if I like writing or publishing enough." That's all right. Grab the book, grab the bundle, and you get the author's bundle. It allows you to be able to honestly look at what you have and make decisions that you got to make. If you need to get an editor, how would you know if no one's ever told you what the steps are? So that's what the bundle is for. It's meant to show you what you don't know. So if you need to get the book, you can find it there. Okay. You've been a comment now. Does have a comment in there? Oh, okay. All right, here we go. Another thing is ready, set, write. Okay. So after we do our book outline, now it's time for us to start with writing. Okay. So I want to show you how to do free drafts, first drafts, second drafts, because guess what's next? How can I add the cherry on the top? Let's say you wrote everything you can think of, but your book is short. Being honest, you only got 20 pages. Type. Double spaced. All right. If that's the case, your book is going to run on a mini book level, meaning fairly short. You're probably not going to break past 50, 60 pages printed. Okay. And I want to let you know most of my books, all of my books that are in this shop right now are over 130 pages, which I think is still a decent sized book. 100 pages is still decent, but I'm going to show you the math. Okay. Because you might say, "Krystal, this ain't math. And if I got to invest of 600, 700, 1,000, or a couple of thousands of dollars, and my book is selling for $15, I want to show you the challenge with that. Okay. Which is why you want to make sure your books are going to meet people's standards on the length for the price. Okay. Another thing I want to share with you. So when you cook up everything, now it's time to edit. So now it might be time to remove content or scale it back, maybe redirect it. Maybe you started writing and then you kind of got off track. Maybe you started talking about dogs and it ended up going to the cat because the dog chased the cat. And then you put 2 chapters on the cat. And now you're realizing the cat had nothing to do with your initial story, which is the dog. So I help people to scale their stories back. Now that's very simple and very simplified, but it will help you to understand that this is the way things kind of pan out and how people can get easily lost in their books and why their books don't always connect with the reader. Okay. Designing it, you got to have a book cover, you got to have graphics, you got to have formatting inside your book. So these are the things that you want to work on. So the writing is stellar. What's next? Get published. You got to understand how to ultimately create the files you need to publish your books, which helps you to submit them to printers, you get them distributed through stores and outlets all around the world. Or if you just go to a selective store, what that process is, I want to show you what it is because it's the same. If you've published your book with one store or many, it's going to be the same process. The biggest difference is you've limited yourself to one store instead of going all around the world, having multiple stores. I show people how to publish to 44,000 stores at one time. Save your time, right? I'm all about remember, making things easy. It's what you know that will bless you. And it's the things that you don't know that will make you work harder to get where some people have already been. B. Muir, thank you so much for being a long time watcher and rising star. I do see you. And I just want to acknowledge you. Thank you so much, love. And then the next one is ready to rock and roll. Once you have your stuff uploaded, distributed, now you got to get to work. You got to let people know about your book. You can't be afraid to get on lives. You can't be afraid, honestly, to have conversations with real people, get feedback, here's some of the things that will come with the territory of owning a business. Okay. Not all of it is just, I get to take vacations when I want to go to the, you know what I'm saying? The Maldives and all the wonderful things we see and people, on yachts and stuff. That happens after you put work in. How many of you know in the beginning, it is work. It's work writing your story. It's work publishing. It's work distributing. It's work getting out here, making orders and selling books and talking to people and figuring out what works and what doesn't work in marketing and for your promotion and your brand. All of these things are layers to starting a business. So if you are ready and committed to do these things, you are on track to have a successful business in publishing. okay, or authorship. I have an authorship business and a publishing business. I'm at a stage now where I've separated the two because when you start to sell books, you want to look at your business as a business and not as a hobby unless it is. Okay. And if it's a hobby, you want to be realistic about what you want to invest so you don't loathe the book. Okay. For some of us, we overinvest and then we get mad because we spent so much, but we realize we're not committed to selling the book. We're not committed to having conversations. We're not going to do the lies. We're not going to do the talks. We're not going to do the, spending my time and not instantly getting gratified because we can do lives and not make money, guys. And it doesn't mean your life was terrible. It doesn't mean you did a bad job. It just means it takes longer sometimes to establish your fan base, your business, your connections, your tribe, right? And we have to be committed with investing our time. This is why I help people to realize this is an investment. Okay. It's not money wasted or spent unless you're not going to use it. If you're going to use it, it's an investment. And businesses, most startup companies require at least $500. Okay. And I'm going to show you how, I'm going to show you why, that you want to at least set aside $500 to start your business. I know people will tell you it'll cost you nothing. Not true. People will tell you, oh, I did all this with no money in my pocket. Ask them how they kept money in their pocket. And I bet you they're going to tell you they had to figure out how to have at least what seed capital. Big businesses know this, small businesses, not as much, which is why I'm here to help you realize your authorship business has to start with an investment from you because guess what? You are the first client. I know you might say, what? I'm the client? Yes. Because if you won't buy your book, if you won't invest in your story, how? How is anyone else going to do it? And why should they if you didn't even see the value enough to invest $100, 500? Okay. You need a website. You need this. You need that. You might need help. You might need a consult, a consult or something like that for people to show you what you don't know. You might have to buy this book. Honestly, if you don't know these details, this is $100. Okay. But I'm going to give you a $156 consultation to know what to do after this. So guess what? Most people would have spent $350 already or because they're having to do the consult, then they're having to do that. And then if you need the business book, which I recommend, some people going into authoring their books have never ran a business. Okay, raise your hand, put it in the comments, or put up some hearts if you've never owned a business. Okay, if you've never had a management role. Has any of you been managers or are you managers of companies? Have you done some of these things? Because if the answer is no, I want to encourage you. It's okay. It's not the end of the world, but I do want you to know you got to bridge that gap. Okay. Got to bridge the gap. So this is why I wrote this book. Yes, I'm a business strategist and consultant. KLE Business is all about helping people to grow and start their business. Thank you so much. And so if you are having or wanting to grow and start your business, I want to let you know you got to understand the fundamental basics of business because they don't change. Mr. Manuel, thank you so much for looking at this book. I appreciate you. Okay. So you might say, okay, Krystal, well, what's the first step? What do I need to know? The first thing you need to understand is small businesses run the world. Wait, you mean to tell me my little bitty business? I mean to tell you, your little small business is what is keeping the economy afloat. Most small businesses that start up will come up with innovative ideas, new books, new services, new content that everybody else is looking for. You have a small niche, which is makes you incredible because people are looking for that little bit of, how many of y'all know 10% of something new is a whole new thing? Because that's sometimes all you have to change. Writing and telling stories follow a script. I don't know if y'all been watching, most movies follow a script. They're going to have this is going to happen, that's going to happen. Boy meets girl, boy fall in love with girl, boy or girl gets disappointed, one gets scared, one turns around and tries to leave, one has to go chase them, one has to win them back with some kind of warm felt conversation or the kiss of the century. And then guess what? They end up being together. We all feel fulfilled because we've seen a love come through and break up and come back together, which gives us what? Hope. And I realize that it can happen for us. Y'all notice that's the same script in most romantic movies. It doesn't what? Change. Okay. So if that's the case, your book can follow the script. But if you don't know the script, how many of you know you won't know what to do? You'll get lost. Same thing happens with writing books and launching businesses. Okay. So What should you know about launching your business? Again, what small businesses represent, how they work, the four pillars of business are really good elements, 8 elements of making a contract. That's very important to know. I want you to know why small business owners must exist. This book has more chapters and sections than the previous one. This book goes on for about nearly 5 pages just to do the index. Why? Because there's so much to business. There's so much we're going to have to learn, so much we have to be open to learn. Because once you start business, how many of you know your business is dynamic? It's like raising a baby. You get a baby, and guess what? It's going to learn to walk, talk, think different, and do all kinds of stuff. And not one child is exactly the same as another one, even if you have twins. So I want to let you know, if you're starting a new business, even if you had another one, I want to let you know everyone demands something different, and you have to be willing to learn and grow through your challenges and not beat yourself up in the process. Okay. 80, thanks for being a long time watcher. Mosey, how you doing? Thank you so much for following, love. I appreciate you being in the live. And let me make sure. Prince John Pierce, how you doing? Thank you so much for following as well. I see you guys. Remember to put up the hearts. We're almost at 700 hearts. Our goal is 2,500 during the live. So if you can do me a favor, if everybody watching can tap their screens and see those hearts go up, that will help us to honestly share our stories, share this conversation with more people so they understand that this is a way. I'm going to teach you things that you need to know. It's in here in more details, but I definitely want you to know that there is a way to launch your business and do it right and then not honestly frustrate you and make you want to kill your computer, which possibly is impossible. Although we tried, I'm not really. There were moments, y'all, when I've had different businesses where I was ready to choke a computer. Okay. And it was because I didn't know what I didn't know. And once I learned it, I realized, oh, this ain't that bad. And I want to let you know that's the same thing that's true. It's not as bad as we think it is. It's only bad because we don't know what we don't know. Okay. What else is in here? What's your why statement? Why now? And having an entrepreneurial mindset for a thriving business. How many of you know you got to have a mindset to win? Yes, it's good to think you're going to win, but having a mindset to win means even when you hit roadblocks, you're going to become innovative. You're going to find another way to win. You're going to find another way to think. You're going to see it through another person's eyes. You're going to hear a no and ask questions, not hear a no and get sad and get honestly down on your luck and think everything you did was a waste of time. If you've been doing that, then you want to change how you are receiving information because not everybody's your ideal client, but they can help you what? Weed the ones out and find them. How do we find them? We find them by honestly asking good questions, researching our market, and being open to restructure when necessary. I have to pivot my company when things are not going the way I wanted to go. I had to realize, okay, this was what I tried. This was the results. What can I do different? Okay. And sometimes we change too quickly. Sometimes what we're doing is working, but maybe the audience was wrong, or maybe the time of day was wrong. Because something as simple as time of day and day of the week can impact your business. Okay. So I want to encourage you on that. Another thing, if you don't know what a SWOT analysis is, strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats, I want to show you what they are. I want to show you how every company needs to know them, whether you're big or small, new or established. So if you have never done it, if you don't know what I'm talking about, I want you to grab this book. Okay. Real quick, this is a hardback book, so it's not cheap. It's going to last. Another thing, it is printed in color, as you can see here. But all throughout this book, it's going to give you color. It's going to give you simple, because I believe in making things simple. Okay. Next thing I want to help you do is defining your company's brand. This is a section. Okay. So there are about 15 things under defining your brand. So I'm gonna help you understand colors, templates, websites, how to build pages, how to create a logo, and where you could go. Social media. I want you to understand how important it is. I want you to know what your mission and vision statements are. If you have not done it already in developing your message, you gotta do it here because you don't want to build a whole brand based off something that is not in alignment with what you're wanting to accomplish. Okay. How you doing, Tampa? So good to see you. Welcome, welcome. Okay, step 4, you got to know how to make a client avatar. If you have not made a client avatar before or you have questions, it's all in here. It's nearly 20 chapters dedicated to client avatar. Okay. Why? Because defining your client avatar means defining who you're talking to. It means making sure your marketing money isn't a waste of money. It means making sure the people you're calling and investing in are people that are already looking for you as a solution. Because as you find that out, you're going to make more sales. You're going to have more success. You're going to find that, oh my goodness, this works. Okay. So that's in here. But you want to have realistic client avatars. I know sometimes we do pie in the sky, and those are not really the best to build our brands off of or to establish our companies. We have to do the work to figure out who's our real clients, where are they really, what are they really struggling with, and how can I really help them? Okay. So I encourage you to do that for sure, for sure. The next thing is creating your sales structure. Okay. If you don't know what a sales structure is, or your sales cycle, which is how long it takes for people to buy something as they meet you, or where they end up, or where they go after they meet you, I want you to look at your sales cycle because it's important. It's going to show you what you need to know and how you may need to pivot your company. How you incorporate is important. Are you a sole proprietor? Are you a S corp, a C corp? What are the benefits? Accountants, how important are they? Lawyers, do you really need one in the beginning? And if not, what can you do in the meantime until you build up your business to afford these professionals? Because in the beginning, again, you have a $500 budget to incorporate in certain states costs $300. Like in Texas, it's $300 to incorporate. Okay. And if you're in other states, it usually costs somewhere between $150 with your name to $250 on average. So I want you to look at what your costs are so you can be realistic and honestly build a company ready to win. I want you to realize when you put your money in, you got to be committed to earning your money back. Okay. I know you might say, wait a minute, I got to earn it back? Yes. Okay. Because when you put something in, you got to build something so that you sell something or you create something that can what help people or solve problems, and that's ultimately how you get to where you need to be. I wrote this book to solve problems, to help people who are launching and starting their businesses, or they're in business but have questions. Okay, so if this can bless you, I want you to grab the book. All right, now if the book is not somewhere you want to start, if $100 investment isn't too high, I want you to consider getting the outline bundle. Okay, so in the outline bundle, break down the topics in this book, but of course, I can't flush out all the ideas. There's not enough pages in the outline. The outline is about, let me see how I can actually bring it up to you. The outline is 6 pages, I believe, 6 or 8 pages. All right, and so this is what it looks like. All right, inside your outline bundle, you are going to get details that's going to help you. Okay. You're going to get a journal, a highlighter, a pen, post-it notes. I believe in helping you help yourself. So as you invest in you, I'm going to make sure you have what you need that I can give to make your life, your jobs easier. Okay. So that's what the packet's for. It's meant to make this process easier. So I go over the type of books or the type of ways I can help. And you may need help on the first page. But then we're going to get quickly into your business outline because you got to know how to what? Build this business. So this is the short code to the headers I just went over. They're in here, but they are not as detailed, but they do have descriptors. As you can see, the descriptors are there. Okay. And then I want to show you the business roadmap because you got to know, what do I start with? First, you're going to start with an idea. So for some of you who say, I want a business, but I don't know which one, they're here. All right. For those of you who say, okay, I got my business, I got my product, what's next? As you can know, the business guide starts with your product because you now have it already. So now you got to understand your sales, your marketing, promotion, and etc. Okay. So I want to encourage you. That's where you go from there. I want to remind you the importance of having a CRM. We build these for our clients because they work. They help to automate a lot of things, bring them all in one place. So you're not going into multiple websites and stuff like that. In order for you to run your business, you can do it all in one spot. CRMs bring it together. Okay. And then this is going to ultimately show you how we can help. So as you go through this outline, as you're going through the steps in your business, I want to let you know how my company can help you. Kaylee Business or Kaylee Services Inc. It's a company that is built on helping you share your stories, launch your businesses, and honestly bring production elements to the table to make it all work together. Okay. So if you know you need to work on all of these things, I want you to grab the book, the business book, because that will help me to help you to get through these things. So here are some of the services we offer. If you need my help, let's say, Krystal, I love everything you're saying, but me doing it, not going to happen. I'd rather just pay you to do it for me, which I do. I set up a lot of companies for people. I think through the details to make sure they are as succinct with your ideas as possible. So when you are making decisions, you can be an executive decision maker instead of one that has to do it all, which can be overwhelming. And I take that weight off your shoulders. Okay. So what can I do for you? With new business services, we can create your message, your brand, your vision statement, your client avatar. We can build your website, build your brand, help you with your logo, and build your digital QR codes if you need those, want those for your business. Okay. I recommend them because that's kind of where everybody's moving to. They can scan QRs and it just makes their life so much easier. So if you have not introduced these elements into your business, I would say do that for sure. If you don't know what a digital business card is, definitely get one of those because it makes life easier too. I still print physical business cards because I live in a print industry. Okay. But for some of you, you may not need that. You may just need someone to be able to tap or scan your phone and boom, they got your details. All right. A SWOT analysis. If you don't know where your strengths are, your weaknesses, your opportunities, or your threats, I want you definitely to look at those. We help people build them out. We also help you look at your competitors, look at solutions on how you may have to pivot your company if you want to make your money back or see other ways to do it if what you started out doing doesn't work. Okay, so that's what a SWOT business analysis is with us. The third thing we offer is CRM and automation. So if you're looking to automate your business, if you're looking to launch your own CRM, if you're looking to honestly just kind of step into this space, I want to let you know we can automate your emails, text messages. We can give you a digital business phone number to where people are not calling your real cell phone, nor are they getting a Google Voice number where it says Google Voice. And it's weird for people who have companies for people to say that because it's like, why don't you have a real phone number? Is it because you're running? Is it because you're not legitimate? Is it because you know what I'm saying? It kind of doesn't see the confidence that people have to have when they first call you. All right. So I help you with that. I can show you how to build your courses, put them on the CRM. I can show you how to build products, websites, integrate payments, calendars. All of this can be in your CRM and it's taught in the book, but it comes in the consultation. Okay. Which I give for free, by the way, if you order the book. My consults are usually $156. But when you buy the books that are numbers 1 and 2, I'm going to give you the consultations for free, okay, to show you how to use these books, these guides, because that's what they are. They're guides to show you how to do what you want to do, need to do to build your business right, okay? The next thing I want to definitely let you know is when you buy the books, I'm going to give you the outline bundles for free. Okay. So when you get the business guide, I'm going to give you this book or this bundle for free with it as a gift. Because I want you to have the short code version and the long version. So if you don't have a whole lot of time, or if you want to make it easy for you to see what you need or who you may need to hire, it's going to give you what you need and it's going to expedite your process. My job is to make your life easier, to save you time. Okay. And also save you money. Okay. If it's something you can do yourself, why not do it? All right. So this is the book. When you buy the book to help launch your business, I'm going to give you the guide for free. Okay. Over here, if you want to get that, the bundle is there. When you order the bundle, you're going to get the book. Oh, no, when you order the book, you get the bundle for free. Okay. I want to make sure I do that. And you get a free consultation. So as you can see, I believe in adding value to what people are doing because, it is hard. It can be hard. It is overwhelming when you don't know what you're doing and you're just kind of guessing through it. Another thing that I must share with you guys before I let you go is with the Embrace Your Crown series. You probably see it in the shop if you've taken the time to look. And I want to share with you a couple of books with you that will show you how I did this. Okay. How did I publish 65 books? How am I working with clients to edit, to ghostwrite, and publish their stories and making it easy? How can I get you on a budget where you can spend $100 or less and get what you need? How can you know that what I'm teaching you is working? Because I'm living proof it works. Every book behind me are all my books. And this isn't even all of them. They go all the way over. Okay. I have 2 bookshelves with 5 rows each, and they are full with books. Okay. And most of these books are now children's books are stacked 2 on top of each other. As I keep building, they're going to be probably 3 or 4 stacked on top of each other because I have to be able to, uh, you know, safe space. There's only so much room you can put books in. Okay. So I'm going to share a book with you real quick. This is one of the first, well, this is a book I published actually in 2024, which is now about 2 years ago. But I came out with this book because a lot of people had questions on how to write their stories, how I wrote my story, and what is my business story. Okay. So if you want to know, well, Krystal, what's your business story? What's your background? How did you do this? Why are you still doing this? And how did you start this business? Well, it's in here. When I first started this business of being a ghostwriter, editor, and publisher, I did not have any anticipation of doing a business. I did this because I wanted to share my story. I wanted to help people going through a divorce. And I wrote my very first book, which is this book. Okay. But I realized as I kept going and putting out books and all that good stuff, I did not have a story or a book published that told you my business story. And I want to let you know, good stories are conversations. This book is not going to beat you over the head with principles and steps and stuff that could overwhelm you. This book is going to give you how to think like an entrepreneur through regular life. Okay. Because I'm going to share my life. I'm going to share you my challenges. I'm going to share you my mistakes. Okay. I made mistakes. I made mistakes personally. I made mistakes professionally. But that is where I started. I started under 20,000 a year. Now I can gross 100,000 a year. And it takes a lot. It takes a lot of confidence. It takes you realizing that it's going to drip. Okay. I want to let you know it's going to drip. Look for the drip though. This, I want to tell you the cover title in case you can't see it. It's look for the drip and expect the outpour. Okay. Look for the drip and expect the outpour. Why look for the drip? The drip are the little things, right? The little things. A drip of water is small. It's so small it can be invisible to most people. But when you're what sensitive, okay, you can feel or see drips when they're falling from the sky. And you're like, oh, it's about to what? Rain. When we feel drops of water hit us, we're like, oh, it's about to what? Rain. We don't know what that rain's gonna look like. We don't know if it's gonna be an outpour, a downpour, a drizzle, a mist. How many of y'all been to theme parks? And when you're at a theme park, they have the fans with the water connected, and you feel that light breeze. You feel the breeze, but you feel the water in it, which cools the air, which makes it even more refreshing. So you're just like, oh, thank you, right? You stand in front of it. So this conversation, I pray, is a mist for you. I pray it's something that's encouraging you and letting you know, okay, yeah, Krystal, you're in my wheelhouse. This is where I am. Tell me something I need to know. Okay. If you are honestly tapping your toe into what do I want to do with my life? Where's my life going? I want to encourage you to grab this book because this book is going to encourage you for the journey up ahead. All right. When I first started my business again, I was making under 20,000. I had 2 children at the time. I just had gone through a divorce. I had to rebuild and restart. Story of our lives, right? And when I was rebuilding and restarting, it was not the most encouraging factor. In fact, I felt all the statistics people say. Oh, this is what's going to happen. Oh, you're going to struggle. Oh, oh, oh. And the more I dwelt on that, the more it became my reality. Okay. The more I struggled when I realized or I accepted my struggles. When you say, no, no, I'm better than this. I'm bigger than this. I'm going to do this. I am doing this. Then I started making progress. And I started off small, 20,000 a year. It wasn't even that much. Okay. And then I had to what? Invest in an office space because at the time I was doing workshops where I had to bring people to me. Got to have a location. And I didn't want to do it at Starbucks or somewhere like that. I wanted people to know I was serious. So I was investing a monthly rent cost to show people I was serious. Okay. Everybody doesn't have to do that. For some of us, you can operate right out of your home, pick a room or space or whatever, and get to work. And you can still make just as much. Most of the multi-billion-dollar companies we know of, Microsoft, was started in a garage, not in an office space, not in a storefront, right there in a garage. So I want to let you know, just because you don't have the fancy offices yet, don't mean you're not legitimate. It just means you're starting somewhere. Okay. In this book, there are, how many chapters are in this book? Let me tell y'all. This book is about 140 pages, by the way. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 chapters. Okay. So here are the titles. I want to read y'all the titles of the chapters so you can get a gist. And then I'm going to just kind of skim the book because I want you to hear the overview. If you want to grab the book is by me. It will come signed. Okay. You will get tracking and all the good details. Okay. It's going to rain. I want to let you know you're going to have opportunities. The short answer is everybody gets opportunities. The question is, what are you doing with your opportunities? Are you ready for them, or are you getting ready when the opportunity comes, which means you're too late, so you're missing it? Okay. The time to get ready to launch your business, the time to start writing is now. The time to write is not when you get fully motivated to publish. It's when you are right now. And some days you ain't going to want to write. There are days when I don't feel like writing as an author, but I have to. Why? Because I know writing, I want to get to a goal of 100 books. I won't get there if I stop writing and I give up, or I get lazy on what I was doing so well before. Shepard, thank you so much for being a rising star in the live. Jordan, thank you so very much. I see you as well. So I realized it's going to rain. I'm going to get opportunities. I'm going to get people that ask for my stories, because people are going to meet me or like what I do, want to know more. So I had to publish this book. So people who need to know these things got it. Okay. If you have long hair and you have a remedy you use to grow your hair, probably should start bottling it. Well, Krystal, I don't know who's going to buy it. That's all right. Bottle it. And then as people say, oh my goodness, your hair is so gorgeous. How do you get it to grow that fast? Oh, here's my what? Here's my product. Here's what I do. Here's my regimen. If you want a consultation, I can tell you, I can show you everything. And this is how people build businesses. They become solutions for people who have problems. And I don't mean problems in the negative sense. I mean, they like what you got. They like your shirt. They like your this. They like that. So if you have something people like, make a way for them to be able to support you. Okay. Some of you don't have support from families and friends because you don't give them nothing to support. You got to finish something. You got to build a website. You got to have the business card. You got to set up your Stripe or integrate your processing. You got to have tap. You can't just, well, if you ain't got cash, I ain't. No, level up your business. And if you don't know how, get around people that can show you. Okay. The next thing I want to let you know, in a drought. Okay. When we go through a drought season, this is like our doubt phase, or this is when we honestly get confronted. This is when we would enroll into college and financial issues happen. This is when we are in the class, but we are struggling to learn the content. Okay. This is when we're in the midst, but we are struggling to see if we're in the right place. The drought comes, we feel unmotivated. The drought is unmotivated. And when you're not motivated, you're not motivated. All right. The next one I want to let you know is the mist. This is the reminder. The mist are people that say, girl, I remember when you said you was going to do this. Sir, I remember when you told me that you were going to have X and Y and X and Y and X and Y. Why you didn't do it? These are not always negative. These are not always your haters. Some of these people are reminders of what you said you were going to do, and they're holding you accountable. They are accountability partners. That's what I am as a business consultant and coach. I'm an accountability partner. I'm going to ask you the tough questions. Why? So you do the work so you can get the results. If you don't do the work, you can't cry that nothing happened. You didn't do it. Okay. If you don't do, how are you going to win? If you don't take the test, if you don't study, how are you going to pass? Okay. So it's not enough just to show up. You got to be prepared. All right. So from a drizzle to a light rain. So let's say you start going to school, you finish one of your courses. This is when it starts to get a drizzle, light rain. Okay. So now you got this light rain thing going on. Now you're getting excited. You're seeing that you're knocking off your to-do list, right? You got a million things to do today. How are you going to organize your business to where you're not wasting your time? Okay. You're going to do that by organizing your thoughts, organizing your ideas, and putting forth your prioritized items first. Don't do the stuff everybody asking you to do, or the stuff that just dropped on your plate that's easy. Do what's the most important first, so it's finished and you can blow through the easier stuff. Okay. All right. Here's the next one. The Father sends the rain. Okay. Actually, the gray clouds hover. Gray clouds hovering are the naysayers, or the doubters, or the people that unfortunately are in your ear to tell you what you can't do, ain't gonna do, won't do. Those are the gray clouds. We got to learn how to push back the rain, or go into sheltered places. Okay. If you're not ready to embrace the rain, don't tell your ideas to everybody. Don't go around and make announcements about your book if you know these people are going to discourage you at the gate. Okay. You got to guard your heart. You got to guard your products. You got to guard your business until your baby is when you have a baby, they tell you don't bring your baby outside. for at least 90 days, 3 months. Keep them inside. Why? There's germs out there. There's negativity out there. There's doubters out there. There's frustration out there. You already got it, stuff going on. You're already dealing with the cries. You're already dealing with the sleeping schedules or the adjustments. Okay. In your company, there are going to be times where you won't sleep as much. And you got to be able to see and say, this isn't a waste. All right. Children are not a waste of time. All right. But we got to put the time in so it's not, right? So they become everything we want them to be, built them to be, hope that they'll achieve. But if we don't invest it, how can they pull out something they never got? Okay. Next thing is the Father sends the rain. The Father will send you blessings. He will send you people. He will send you resources. He's like, oh, my daughter, my son is successful and he's doing right. She's doing right with what she has. Let me give him what? Increase. Let me give him more. So he's going to continue to give you more as you continue to be productive and profitable with what you already have. So I know it's real easy to say, oh, Lord, I can't do anything because I need all the best spoons. I need all the best knives. No, cut with what you got. And then as you make more, do more, invest in what you need. Buy the better knives. Because guess what? You made it with what you had. And the Father counted you as faithful. Okay. Your business sees you as faithful. The bank sees you as faithful. Some of us are not getting loans because we're not being seen as faithful. Okay. We're not being seen as consistent. So I want to let you know, if you're having struggles there, that's how you break it. Work through the rain. Okay. We have to be willing to work through our problems, work through the challenges, work through our frustrations, work through things. Sometimes we need a break because we don't want you knocking out your computers or your phones and tablets. Take a break, go breathe, walk away, get fresh air, and then come back at it the next day or come back at it in a few. They say it's good to take a 20-minute break every once in a while. Jonan, thank you so much for following love. I see you. I appreciate you. Okay. That's not rain, but hail. How many of y'all know, my goodness, rain is supposed to be refreshing. It grows things. It grows trees. It grows grass. It grows nature. It does so many things in nature. It does so many things for us. But guess what also happens? Thank you so much, Joan, and I appreciate you for sharing this. But guess what also happens? Okay. When hail comes, hail doesn't build, it destroys. Okay. Hail is like, oh my gosh, rocks falling. Sometimes they're as big as golf balls and they can knock people out. Okay. For some of us, we're being knocked out by our ideas. We're being knocked out by no's. We're being knocked out by discouragements. And we thought this was supposed to be a good thing, but now it went from rain to hail. It went from everything going well to everything not working anymore. Now I have to revamp my company. I got to revamp my ideas. What was working then ain't working now. So now I got to figure out what to do. Okay. This is why you get business coaches, business strategists, people who can help you see things differently, because that's what we sometimes need. We need somebody to say, oh, I don't know why you're doing that. Maybe you should try this. For some of us, we're offended when they say that, but don't be. Okay, don't be. Good business people understand, entrepreneurs understand, I got to solve people's problems. How am I solve their problems when I'm afraid to hear their answers? Don't be afraid. Caribbean Queen, how you doing, love? Thanks for the likes, hun. Okay, don't be afraid of no's. Don't be afraid of rejection. Don't be afraid of what is coming when you launch a business, write your book, tell your stories, or have ideas, because they can help sharpen what you're doing. Okay. Rain that waters new life. I want to let you know, you want to pick good people around you. Good people that will give you water to help you cultivate and nurture what you're building. You want a business coach or a business consultant that can help you to see your vision and not change it, but help you to better fine tune it. Okay. Some editors will rewrite your whole story to where it's not even yours anymore because they put too much in it. Okay, so vet who's helping you, because sometimes people will overextend their influence into what you're building or you're doing, and now you don't know what it is. You're like, Lord, I thought I was building this, but now I'm just overwhelmed because this isn't what I want. Okay, so look at what you want and be honest about what you want. So when people come up with ideas, if the ideas are taking you away or taking them away from what you're building, you let them know. Hey, look, no, that's not what I'm selling. Hey, look, no, that's not what I need you to do. Okay, because people will choose the easy way out, and the easy way out is not always the best way. It's not always what you're trying to do. Okay, another thing is no clouds in the sky. I want to let you know, there will come a time in our businesses where there will be no clouds in the sky, where it would just be relaxed. Even if it's for a moment, enjoy it. Take your vacations, take your mental breaks, take your pauses, go make your coffee and let the phone ring sometimes, because sometimes that's what needs to happen. And you might say, Krystal, but what if it was the call that could have changed everything? I want to let you know, if you are consistent in what you're doing, the call that you miss will call you back. Or when you call them, they'll realize, oh, she prioritizes her clients. So that means if she's talking to me, she's going to prioritize me and not put me on hold to go answer somebody else's call and make me feel like the rabbit head. You know what I'm saying? The stepchild or something like that. Like she doesn't respect what I'm doing. I want to let you know, people realize how you treat them and how you treat others while you're with them. So be mindful of your business culture. Okay. If you're the writer, you're the culture. If you're the business visionary, you're the culture. So if you set the tone, how you treat people, they're watching. Oh, look, that person, she respect all her people. He always giving out bonuses. He makes me, I ain't never leaving. If you want clients, customers, and employees that won't leave, create an atmosphere that makes them want to stay. If you want to be a live creator, create an atmosphere that makes people want to stay. King, thank you so very much for following. I appreciate you and I thank you. Okay. So as we create the atmosphere that people need and want in order to stay, you're going to find more people that will stay. Okay. And be committed to buying, to selling, to recommending. The best way to grow your business is to have successful experiences that lead to other people sharing the good news. Okay. Ask Kate, how you doing? Thank you so much for being a longtime watcher and rising star. Thank you. All love, King. Thanks for dropping in and following. I appreciate you. If you haven't followed yet, feel free to do that. That way you'll be able to find me when I come out again with another live. Um, the outpour. The outpour is where we get to when we are completely sold out to our vision. I know what I want to do. I'm not going to what? Be confused anymore. I'm no longer second guessing. I'm not only planning this book, but I'm going to write the book and I'm going to finish the book. And when it's finished, I'm going to what? Make sure I support the book. Okay. Good morning, Ask Kate. Thanks you so much, love, for following. I appreciate you and I see you. Okay. So I want to encourage you. It's not over. I know for some of us, we're like, yeah, Krystal, it's over. For many of you, it hasn't even begun. Some of you are saying, oh, I quit because I couldn't get past chapter 1. I want to let you know, make your books and what you're going through easier. Don't be afraid to invest the money. I have had to pay $700 to go to conferences, not including my airfare, not including my hotel. Why? Because I knew I needed something in that conference. Do you know what I made when I went to that conference? Because that's how I see things. I'm like, okay, Lord, if I invest this money, you gonna have to show me how to make my money back. Because I don't know about y'all, but I don't got $800 to waste. I'm gonna invest the 800 because why? It's a seed. Okay. When we tithe, it's a seed. It's not about what people think it's about. It's about sowing seeds. If you never put nothing in the ground, what's gonna grow? Absolutely nothing. Okay. If you never go to college to better your education, how are you going to make more, which we know is linked to your experience and education? So you're going to have to do that investment, but be smart about it. Okay. No one's telling you to go for broke because that ain't always the way. I'm telling you to get the wisdom you need, ask the questions so you know how to navigate what you're doing and you can have success on the other end of this. All right. So if that is the case, hey, Jerry Russell, I see you. I want to let you know I do see you. How you doing? All right. So if you are trying to figure this thing out, I want to let you know ain't nothing wrong with that. But what I don't want you to do is give up before you really tried. I know a lot of people say, Krystal, I gave him my level best. No, it was the level you were on that was your best. And if for some of us we're on I give up best, then it ain't that far you got to go. Right. If we already think we're a failure or I ain't going to waste my time on this because it ain't going to work anyway. If these are things you've said or people have told to you, I want to let you know that mindset is a level. Okay. And it's a scarcity one. It's a blocking one. It's a limiting one. It's one that says, I hope, I wish. Okay. Because wishful thinking means you don't have to do anything. And a lot of us are not putting in the work that's necessary for us to get what we really want and we really need. Okay. So if you are wanting that, if you are needing that, I want to encourage you that the Father has something good for you. And He's going to put resources in front of you to help you get there. The only question is, what are you going to do with the resources? Are you going to invest in the coach? Are you going to buy the books? Or are you going to write down what you hear in the live? You know, for some of us, we may not have the money to invest, but don't waste the wisdom that's in that's in the free zone. Okay. Because these are the things the Father allows you to catch, which is the mist So you can get the mist, you can get the freebies, but don't live your life off free stuff. Okay. There has to come a time where you see like, okay, Lord, I really want to do this. So I'm going to invest in it. Why? Because it puts an investment in you. It puts you in your business. It puts you in your book. When you use AI to write for you or to do everything for you, you ain't invest in that. And that's why you don't care about it. People put stuff on stuff all the time, but you don't care about it because it didn't cost you nothing. And when stuff don't cost you nothing, you have a tendency of not valuing it. Not because it has no value, because it has no value to you. Okay. But when you value yourself, when you value your effort, when you value your ideas, when you value your business, you're going to take care of them because you what value your children. You're going to invest in their clothes. You're going to invest in groceries. You're going to invest in a house. You're going to invest in transportation. You're going to invest. All of that costs money. Can these babies pay you back? Not today, they not. Why? Because they're in the infancy stage. Your writing story, your your business, your history, it can't pay you yet. But guess what? When you create the product, when you create the service, when you make a lane, then allow and support it, right? Because you can't just birth the baby and say, I did the work. You did, you made it, it's here. But now you gotta what? Cultivate it, you gotta nurture it. You got the seeds, but you got to put them in the ground and water them, not once, but every day until they what? Turn fruit, until they harvest, until they blossom, until they bloom. Okay. So I want to let you know when I spent that money, y'all, I was looking at it and I said, Lord, this is a lot of money. I spent nearly $1,000, probably over that with food and stuff. And guess what? I ended up coming away from that. And after that conference, that was the first year I did over six figures. Okay. But it took me investing $1,000 to get to a point where I can make over 80,000. Okay. And so I ended up landing a handful of clients out of the event. And those handful of clients led me to clearing over 80 grand that year. Okay. And so I want to let you know it doesn't have to be a million people to make your business work. I know for some of us, we're like, man, I got to go viral. No, you just got to you got to you got to understand your numbers. Okay. Everybody's business has a price, right? Everybody's product or service has a price, and you have to know what your price or your business is. There are people who do business coaching and they charge $30,000. And I look at that and I'm like, whoa, no, thank you. Because that's not what my lane. But that doesn't mean people are not in that lane buying what she's selling because they are. I've met them. And I'm just like, wow, that is a huge investment. But they felt like it was a good one. And for some of them, it probably was. But for some of my clients, it wasn't. I ended up doing more for her with $5,000 than she got out of a $30,000 deal. So you got to understand what you value and who are you talking to? Are they accessible to you? Okay. Because when you're spending all that money, you got to know that you're going to reach who you need to reach. And it's not going to be too long, too far out. One of the things we're doing with our sales cycle is we're building sales cycles that are so far out, we will be discouraged before we get there. The reason why the Hebrews were lost 40 years in the wilderness is because they were so far out from the goal that they gave up before they got anywhere near it. And it was only a 3-day journey. So a 3-day journey took them 40 years because they lost faith in one day. In one day, they gave up. For some of you, you're in your first year of business and you already gave up. You're in your first stage of writing and you already gave up. You don't want to do that. In the world of business, most people are going out of business, and I would say they never start or within 5 years. Okay. If you don't want to be one of those people that honestly have tried something and it didn't go anywhere, I want to encourage you, don't find a way to build your confidence. Okay. You got to build your confidence. You got to know that what you're doing, what you're selling, or what you're offering as a service is not only good, but it's also necessary for people. It is absolutely, you can't get around it. You want to do this, you got to do this, because if you don't, it could take you longer to find to find what you're looking for. That's what I'm trying to say, to find what you're looking for. Okay. So I want to share this series with you real quick. There are 3 books in this series. I recommend you grab them all together if you are struggling with all of the topics for sure. But if you are not, and you want to just grab the individual book, I'm going to show you how to do that as well. Okay. But I wrote this series called Embrace Your Crown. Okay. This is all 3 books. All right. All 3 of these books are 164 pages each. So if you grab the bundle, you're getting about 500 pages. Okay. A little bit about me. I am Dr. Krystal Lee. I do have my doctorate with a discipline in philosophy and emphasis in theology. Okay. I am an ordained chaplain, ordained minister, but I'm a certified transformational coach and actually an internationally certified one. Okay. And I did all that. Why did I invest the money, the time? Because I knew I needed the credentials. I knew I needed the support. I knew I needed the foundation. Okay. And if you know you need the foundation, if you know you need the support, I want to encourage you, invest in the things you need to. Okay. Because the reason why people can say these things is not because it came free. It's because it cost their time, it cost their energy, it cost their commitment, it cost their consistency, it cost them money. Okay. And so if you're not willing to do these things, I want to let you know real quick, you're not going to make it in business. You're not going to make it in writing, because in order to make it, you have to be committed. You have to want to do it even when you're tired. You have to want to do it even when you feel like nobody's watching, because guess what, at times nobody's watching. But guess what, if you keep up with it, if you fine tune your audience and your market, they will be watching. And guess what they're going to do? The first thing they're going to do is go back to your history and look at whatever you've been doing before. Have y'all noticed when you find one video you like, you follow that person? When you follow, you click on their videos to see what else is going on, and you're like, whoa, I need to work with them. I need to talk to them. It makes you create a desire for a relationship. So don't stop writing. Don't stop talking. Don't stop talking through your ideas, organizing them, because your ideal clients are going to want to see your journey and your history. Okay. I started my journey in 2015 with writing and publishing books. Okay. Again, my first book is this one. If you want to follow me, I'm author KLEE on the platform. You can look up my name. You can follow me on that page. You can see all of my books and my journey as an author if you want to get there. Okay. And this series was birthed out of that. All right. So one of the things I wanted to encourage people to do is I wanted to show them that for some of us, we are discouraged because our hearts have been broken. And when our hearts are broken, it's hard for us to transition. It's hard for us to elevate. We feel like we're hitting a brick wall. Maybe for you, the heartbreak was personal. Sometimes it's professional. Sometimes it's emotional. Sometimes it's mental. And sometimes it's spiritual. But any of these areas can cause us to honestly work half mass, meaning half doing things, half thinking, half, functioning halfway. Everything is kind of incomplete. And when things are incomplete, we can't say we're giving our best. We can only say we're giving our level best, meaning at the level we're on, this is our best. And if you want to change that, you got to go back and you got to look at these 7 gates. I'm going to show you what those 7 gates are. Okay. I'm going to pin the individual book. So if you just want to get the book, you don't have to get the bundle. When you get the bundle, you get all 3. Okay. But when you get them separately, you're going to get this bundle. When you get the bundle, by the way, you are going to get the outline bundle that comes with it. It's a $25 value as well. So it's going to give you that journal, highlighter, pen, post-it notes, and it's going to give you the outline to know how to go through the series. Okay, I'm going to share that with you shortly. But this is the book if you want to just jump into this. I'm going to show you the 7 gates that many of us need to open. Okay, a lot of us say, well, oh, I had to shut myself off. I had to what? Shut that down. And we say it and we brag about it. But many of us don't realize that when we close these gates, we are not saving ourselves. We are delaying ourselves. Okay, not delaying the inevitable. Okay, but we are delaying our progress. We are delaying the access that good people need to us, good people who bring good news, good people who have what we need, good people who are our business coaches or our help. Okay, so if you have been struggling with finding what you need, I want to let you know you got to figure out what the 7 gates are so you can open them. You got to face them, not run from them. Thank y'all. I see y'all too using the pen. Thank y'all so much for looking at the book. Okay, so here are the 7 gates. All right. If you want to know, the first one is time. Time is not a renewable resource, guys. It is running. Okay, clock going. All right. So where you're using your time, you're either investing it, good, or you're wasting it. Okay. And then some of us are just spending it. Okay. It's not a waste, right? It's a spend. And there are times when you just need to spend time. We spend time with our children because we enjoy it. We spend time reading books because we enjoy it. And it's also an investment because it's going to lead to something greater. But at the moment, It's not what paying us. It's not giving us something directly back. So for some of us, we just consider that spending time. But let me tell you, it's not wasting time. The only thing is wasting time is when you talk yourself out of stuff. The time you're using to talk yourself out of the stuff you know you should be doing is when you waste time because you could just get to it. Oh, now you took all this time, you invested time to build yourself up, and then you waste your time when you talk yourself out of what you got to do because it leaves you right where you are, which is why you're frustrated, which is why you're heartbroken, which is why you're mad, which is why you want to give up. So if you want to change these things, you got to address that. One of the things I want to point out real quick, Dream Wizard, thank you so much for following. I do see you. Nikki, how you doing? Blessings. Thank you so much for being a rising star, long time watcher. If you're new to my live, be sure to follow me while you're here. That way you'll see me again. And do me a favor, if you like and love what you're hearing, definitely send up the hearts. Definitely share the live so other people can get in the room. So share, love, to like, just lift up those hearts like that, and that will let other people know we're in the room and welcome them in as well. Okay. Purpose. I want to let you know our purpose is in us, born with us, and for us. Okay. Nobody's a mistake, even though we may feel that way. People treat us like that. I want to let you know you got to stop begging people to see you, to acknowledge you, appreciate, or love you. If you're having to do that, there's a disconnect with what they're seeing and what you want to know and believe about you first. So when we're heartbroken, it will change how we see ourselves and what we allow other people to do or how we allow them to treat us. And I want to encourage you, you can honestly have what you dream about. I'm living my dream. And for some of us, we might say, well, I'm not on a yacht, I'm not doing this, but your dreams are actually more simpler than you think. For some of us, our dream is to be able to do what we love and to be able to live. Okay. And doing that doesn't mean you got to have a mansion. Sometimes doing that means I keep it small so I can afford to travel more. So you got to see what you value because people value different things, and that's all right. Okay. The subtitle in this book, I want to make sure y'all know it is Stop Begging to Be Acknowledged, Appreciated, Loved, or Respected. Because when we're doing these things, we're not embracing our crown. We're waiting on other people to validate us. And I want you to validate yourself. And when you show and know your own value, you can go in conversations, you can go in business meetings, you can go into situations, the victor already. Okay. Another thing, patience. Some of you are too patient. I know people will say, I need more patience. Some of y'all got too much. You giving people excuses and reasons and ways out. No, for some of us, we need to put them right where they need to be. And that is not negative, but it's creating healthy boundaries. Okay. So if you're struggling with boundaries today, this is the book for you. And I want you to add it to your cart. I want you to check out with it. I'm going to sign it for you, and I'm going to help coach you through this book. Okay. If you don't know, I do first Sundays, Embrace Your Crown, at 4 p.m. Central. So I'm going to show you how to use this book. I'm going to show you why the Father had me start the series and continues to have me support the series with live talks and videos. Okay. Another thing in wants and desires, you want to make sure your wants and desires are linking. They're not disconnected. You're not saying, I want this, but believing for the worst. You're not saying my desires are this, but you're believing for toxic. Okay. Or you're accepting, indulging, toxic behaviors or toxic people. Atmosphere. Sometimes you got to change where you're at. Mentally, physically, socially, spiritually. You may have to make changes. Don't be afraid to make them, do them. If that means you're going to get yourself in alignment. Another thing, you have to be willing to transform and go beyond change. You have to be able to look at your lifestyle because all of these things are made up of choices you're making. And if you're making them out of a broken heart, y'all know how dangerous that can be. When you go to the grocery store and you're starving, it's one of the worst things you can do because you're going to buy up the store because you're hungry. So when you get full or when you're good, you can go in a grocery store and be objective. You can say, no, I don't need that. You can keep your budget in mind because you're not shopping until you drop. You're shopping for what you came in there for. Okay. And that same thing is true with spouses, business, companies, investments. You're looking for the people who you need. If you need a business coach, you're going to look for a business coach. You're not going to on your level on top of that. Okay. Because not everybody's on the same levels. Not everybody offers the same types of services. Okay. So find the people that you need for the time you're in. That's what Embrace Your Crown is all about. It's about you connecting with people who you need at the time you need them. All right. The next one is overcome unbelief. If you are struggling with your belief today on if you deserve something, If you need magic, if you're like, Lord, I just need you to fix my life. Okay. I want to let you know the way you're going to fix your life is through power. And you achieve power through consistency, through commitment, through focus, okay? And staying the course. If you are all over the place, your issue is you don't believe where you're going is valuable enough to stay consistent. You don't believe that what you're building is building. You think it's just you having fun, or worse, wasting your time, okay? If you feel that way, look at how you act, and that will tell you more about what you really believe. Your actions speak louder than words. We've all heard it, but I want to encourage you to consider it. All right. And I want to let you know, if you need a miracle, miracles, you got to make room for miracles. Miracles are not wishes. Miracles happen because you've been consistent, you've been faithful, you've been showing up. So if you need a miracle in your life, a miracle in your business, a miracle, make room for them. Be consistent, show up, be faithful. Okay. I want you to dare to dream again. I want you to know the promises you've made to yourself. If you have not been consistent with that, I want to help you change it. And I want you to know you got to take courage and work. It's not enough to say I believe if you're not willing to work for it. Okay. Oh, by the way, I'm sorry, y'all. Let me switch the book out so you can see this one. So this is the belief book. If you want to get it separately and not in the collection, it's this one. Okay. So yeah, I want to encourage you, if you're struggling with your belief, what you're believing for, what you're asking for, if you deserve it, this is the book I want you to start with in the Embrace Your Crown series. Of getting all of them is not what you want to do. Okay. And then lastly, there's this book. This is 3 Gates to Sharpen Your Focus. As you realize, the first book is 7 gates. The second one is 5. This one is 3. Why? Because as you get more and more specific, your issues are going to get more and more specific. Okay. If you are realizing you're putting in all this effort and not getting results, your problem is probably that you've shifted your focus. You've gotten out of alignment with what you've been asking for, what you're working for, or you forgot what was working. Okay. For some of us, we start our mornings off with prayer, with this, with that, and then we might hit a bump in the road. And in that bump, we decide to get off track. And in the beginning, it might have been justified. Maybe you had something you had to do, so you couldn't pray that morning, but you didn't pray that night either. And so the next day comes, and then you're like, oh man, I need to pray. But now you're starting a new cycle. Okay. So when we start new cycles, they can slowly, pinch at us. And next thing you know, it's like waking up in a beach. When you go to a beach, you can find yourself drifting far and far farther away because the current will carry you. For some of you, other people's ideas are carrying you away from your idea. Other people's actions, you're watching all this stuff on, TikTok and all these other places. And now it's kind of making you scared. It's making you think, is the economy crashing? Is it even going to work? Should I even put money in this? Should I be saving? It can make us scared, and we make decisions that are really not keeping our eyes on the prize. It's not really you doing what you used to do. It's actually you changing what was working, which is why it's failing, or your business is dynamic. Okay. So what may work right now may not work always. So you got to make adjustments to go with the flow and to help your business grow, even when it is, struggling at times. Okay. So I want to encourage you all. I want to let y'all know that if you are at a place in your life where you need to get refocused, this is the book I want you to start with. Okay. I am a coach. I do this, but I don't like charging for coaching sessions. I would rather come on lives like this, teach you for free, but I want you to get the book so you know how to implement what I'm saying. Okay. There's only so much time in a day, but there's way more in this book than what I can give in a couple of minutes when I talk about it. Okay. But I want to talk about it so you know what's in it. And I want to let you know the subtitle for this book is Don't Let the Voices Distract You Anymore. Don't let the negative voices in your head distract you. Don't let the people around you who are speaking negatively about you impact you no more. Don't let the haters bother you anymore like they were, if it's talking you out of what you should be doing. Okay. So what are the gates? What are the chapters in this book? There are 3 gates, but there are more chapters than 3. Okay. So I wanted to show you to seek first. What are you going to seek first? Okay. Where is your beginning? Where did you start? Know where you come from, because it'll show you how far you've come, which is what you need to build your confidence. All right. What do you believe? You got to go back to figuring out, what do you believe? Because what you believe, you do, you follow. Okay. Adjust your focus is the first gate. If your focus have gotten off kilter, if you've gotten out of pocket, if you changed course and now you don't know where you're at, you need a GPS to get back, I want to let you know you got to adjust your focus. Maybe you're looking at the right thing, but it's blurry. Maybe you're looking at the right thing. I got this book, Lord, but it is useless. Adjust your focus. It's not useless because you put effort in it. The question is, how can you fix it? How can you make it better? Maybe you wrote it without wisdom or guidance, So get guidance, make it better. And then you have it. Sometimes it's a tweak, it's an adjustment. Okay. Another thing, remember what you did before. Remembering what you did before doesn't mean remembering all the bad. It's remembering the good and the bad, the what worked, what didn't work. Okay, because this will help you to sharpen your focus, sharpen your intention, sharpen your target market, your audience, so you know what works. And the last one is put it all on the table. Okay. I know for some of us, we may think, oh, I'm going to go in easy. I'm not going to, ruffle any feathers. I'm going to keep it simple. No, sometimes you need to go all in. Okay. All in. And when you go all in, you can see how much you've done, how much you've grown, where is the next level for you, and you can choose to walk in that. Okay. So I want to encourage you all, if you have thought about, starting your business or writing and publishing your books, Kaylee Business or Kaylee Services Inc., which is our company name. Kaylee Business is our handle. If you are looking to follow us, please do that. That way you can be on the next live. I come on live at least twice a week. So if you're looking to honestly get motivated and starting something new and stay on track, I want to help you, as a business consulting, business coach, author coach. I am here to help, definitely. And I realize, okay, with your companies, you are the first. You are the first person. You are the one they see first. You are the one they interact with first. And for some of you, you're the only one. Thank you so much, Amma. I appreciate you. Okay. So if you are out of, if you are out of sorts, everything is out of sorts. So it needs you first. It meets you first. So I want to encourage you. Thank you so much for following too. I appreciate you. So I want to encourage you that if you are, working to do this, I want to encourage you that it can be done. I'm doing it. And for those of us who are doing it, I want you to encourage others because there's room for everybody. You might say the top is real scared. It's only that way because too many people give up on themselves. Too many people don't encourage other people to meet them there. And so people just give up too early, too soon. Okay. So real quick, lastly, I want to share this last bit of information with you guys. If you want to write and tell your stories, and I can help, and there are two ways you can invest in your dreams of writing and publishing your books and making them a reality. Because how many of you know if you don't take care of them, they can't take care of you? You can't have a business that take care of you if you never invested in it because it doesn't exist yet. So I want you to grab this guide, add it to your cart. I want you to check out when you do. I will mail you your guides and I will also reach out to you so you can have a conversation. I believe in customer service. I believe in supporting these books. I know they work. Okay. So if you are at the phase where you're writing your stories, you've written it, you're looking to publish, to distribute, stuff like that, this is the go-to guide to do it over and over again. If you're a repeat author, this is your business investment. Okay. It's not money spent, it's money invested. Okay. There's a clear difference. Another thing is going to show you how to complete your book in 90 days or less. So if you don't want to take all life, all year, another decade waiting on you, then allow me to help you to be able to use this system that I use. That's helped me publish over 65 books for myself, but I'm a publisher, editor, and ghostwriter. So if you need the help, you can reach out to me. This is the platform. Put a comment in, send me a DM if you have to. If you have questions, I'm here to answer them and show you the right products that you want to start with. So it will allow you to do the most with the best investment you can do. Okay. For some of you who say, well, Krystal, $100, that's a bit expensive. I don't know if I can do that right now. In fact, I got too many things I'm juggling, but I know I need to do something. Okay. If you know you need to do something, you got to put skin in the game. You got to invest. You got to take your business serious, your story serious. Then I want you to at least get the bundle. Okay. So real quick, I didn't go over this bundle yet, so I'll do it now. Now, when you get the book, you're going to get the bundle for free and the consultation. All right. So you're going to get this free with the book. So what's in it? Let me show you what's in it. All right. Real quick. In this, you're going to get a journal. You're going to be able to reach out to me. You're going to get a pen, a highlighter, post-it notes are in the inside, and you're going to get this outline. Okay. So the meat and potatoes are in the outline, of course. Of course, it comes in a folder, which is nice. It keeps everything neat. I believe in keeping things neat. This is going to show you what all way process, write anything easily can do. It is authored by me. So I know how it works. I know how it reads. And ultimately, this is the first conversation in the packet. It's going to ask you, it's going to go over what the steps are, where we're going to go from here, how to go from wherever you are to where you want to be, which is published. Okay. The next thing I'm going to go over is how to do your book outline. Because if you've not started writing or you wrote the book, but maybe you didn't think through it all, I want to help bring you here so we can get that part done and handled. The next thing I want to give you is the public or the writing roadmap. This is the roadmap you're going to take once you do the book outline. This is the next step. Okay. So this is going to give you tips on how to outline, how to write, edit, format, cover design, publish, proof, distribute, promote, and do it all over again. Okay. So if you're a repeat author, incredible investment. Okay. Next thing I want to show you, let's say you've already wrote your book. You don't need that. You're already with the format. So this one starts with formatting because you're trying to get to published. Okay. So this one is what you do once you've done everything from the previous steps. You're going to do these. Okay. So if you're looking to publish your book, this is still a good outline for you because this covers publishing. All right. Now, another thing that's inside this packet is I'm going to ask you, how's it going? Okay. So let's say you need more help, you have questions, if you need services to finish what you start, this is how you can get a hold of us. This is how we can help you either coach you through doing it yourself. We can teach you how to do it, or, okay, we can ultimately do it for you. We can offer services. So what are the services I offer as KLE Services with publishing books? I can format the book, edit the book, ghostwrite. I can also show you how to plan your book, think through the details, organize what you've written. I can show you or include QR codes in the books. I can show you how to build graphics that work. I also can ultimately show you which plans are the best one for where you're at and what you need. Okay. So if you want to keep your budget under a certain amount, I can show you how to do that and get what you need in that amount. All right. Now, it may look different. For some of you, it will be coaching. Others, it will be doing. And either way, as long as your book gets out there, what difference does it make? Okay. So do what's good for you, what makes sense for you, so you can do the next step and get it going. Okay. The business guide I mentioned as well earlier. So if you do need help with your business, I'll mention that one more time. I'm going to be ending the live here shortly, but I wanted to make sure I mention these things because I did talk about them. So if you need help to launch your business, I want to let you know that this is the guide. This is the way. Ultimately, I help people to take their writings, their stories, their products, and turn them into businesses that make sense. This is a repeat guide. Again, these guides are in color. They're hardback books. They're 164 pages. So they're not short books. These are books that are going to help you get the mindset, understand what you don't understand, and know what you don't know. Okay. So if I can be of help, if you have questions for me, let me know. If you want to grab the outline bundle, which is going to give you the short codes to get to where you need to be for business, you can grab that. Okay. It's $25, guys, with shipping. So it makes sense. And if you know this is what you're doing and you're already doing it, invest $100. So it's under 100 really with shipping. Everything's included. So taxes is the only thing that is added. Okay. For the book. In the book, I give you the bundle for free because I know the values in both. All right. So if y'all have questions or you want to work with me, I want you definitely to connect with me. Feel free. If you have questions, reach out to me through my profile. My contact details are there. You can look at my other videos to learn more about me and see all that I'm doing and have done to help other people. I love doing this. I love helping, and I love working with new writers, new business owners, and showing you how to turn what you love into what you love to do. Okay. So if I can help you share your story with the world and take this first step, this next step, reach out to me. Start with the books if you like, or we can just do the consultation when you call me and we can just get things going and let's see what the Father do. Let's see what you do. Let's see what we build. All right. So until my next live, you guys have a wonderfully blessed day. It has been an awesome, awesome experience. I'm excited about where we are and what we're going to be working towards. Okay. So until then, bye-bye for now. And I will see you in the next live. Have a good day, guys. Thank y'all for being in here. I appreciate you. Okay, real quick. Also, I almost forgot. I want to show you the website as well. So if you would like to reach out to me, here is our website. Okay. On our website, this is ultimately going to show you what we do. Okay. We are going to help you to essentially tell your story and do it right. So we can help you with writing, publishing, producing, which is like making videos and turning it into a business and dealing with promoting and production. Okay. There are a couple of services that you can learn more about. I've talked about these as far as SWOT analysis, business services, websites. When you go to klehelp.com, it will show you all of this. So you can go to the writing and publishing department by clicking there. You can learn more about business services by clicking here. And if you need production help, if you want to do a podcast, do a movie, television, any of that, we help people to write and plan it. You can click there. And if you need coaching or training, to write and publish your book, to start your business, to honestly find your business and your purpose with Embrace Your Crown, I offer a workshop. And if you need to learn how to use programs to create your own graphics and stuff like that, I encourage it. Or to build your CRM so you can automate a lot of things. This is definitely, definitely the way to go. Okay. So I wanted to make sure I share that with you so you can learn a bit more about that. If you want to speak to me, you can go to klehelp.com. And when you do, it will allow you to click on speak with us and it will open a button or a function that will allow you to connect. Okay. And give us a call and reach out. And yeah, and we'll get your project started and get you going and put you in the right place. Okay. So if you have any questions for me, feel free to reach back out to me. I am author Kaylee and Dr. Krystal Lee. And my goal is to help writers and business owners become comfortable with taking this jump, this leap of faith. So if this is something that is that for you, I would love, love, love to help you in this incredible way and show you what KLE can do for you. KLE Services Inc. is the name of our company. KLEHelp.com is our website and how you can get a hold of us to work with us. You can also give us a call at 770-240-0089. And then you can push the button for the right extension. 1 is for publishing, 2 is for business, 3 is for coaching and consultant. And then there are other departments if you need those things as well. Okay. So until our next live, I want to tell you, thank you for being here. I look forward to helping and working with you and talking with you soon. Put comments in if you need, if you have questions or you want to reach out that way, or send me a DM. I do answer my direct messages. So you can inbox me. And I would love to hear from you and see how I can help you achieve your goals and get things going. And now is the time. All right. So yeah, real quick, if you want to book a consultation, it's $156 if you would like to just book a consult to talk about whatever and however you need to get from where you are to where you need to be. I'm telling you, it's worth it. It's valuable. And then based on your consultation, I will give you one of the books that I talked about today for free, just so you don't have to be way down in the consult with writing and taking notes. I want you to be able to listen, to hear, and to breathe. Okay. So if I can bless you, help you, feel free to reach out and connect with me. Until my next live, guys. Bye bye for now. And